Minister. Mr. Micheli, thank you for being with us. When we talk about AI, we need to understand what is behind. And there are different layers. The application service layer, this is what we do at Artifact. The model layer, this is what Mistral does. And the foundational layers, the infrastructure layers, data centers. And this is what we're going to talk about today. When we talk about sovereignty, we talk about all these things. So maybe first question. You just came back, both of you, last week from the European Summit in Berlin on sovereignty. So what are, maybe Minister, if I may ask you first, the key takeaways of the summit?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for the question. This summit is a historic milestone for European digital sovereignty. The summit marked a significant step forward in Europe's pursuit of digital sovereignty. There were 1,800 participants. The event brought together Franco-German stakeholders as well as representatives of all over Europe. It's a philosophical shift. For the first time, Germany has embraced the concept of digital sovereignty. It's a turning point, and it was acknowledged as such by Chancellor Merz. The summit permits a progress toward a genuine European preference in the digital sector, while France is already convinced of the necessity. This preference is sometimes perceived by other countries in Europe as a position of isolation. In reality, it's totally the opposite. European preference means empowering Europe to have the choice of our technologies and to protect our data. We announced in Berlin the launch of a European working group, and this group has to define what is a European digital service. And it's a crucial step. It's more complex to define a European digital service. It's more complex than automobile, for example. But we need to clarify this definition. It's essential for the future.
Thank you, Minister. Mr. Micheli, the European Summit.
Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation. First of all, I think it was a very good summit under the leadership of Madame la Ministre. And you know, when France and Germany are working together, Europe is progressing. And I'm very happy that Germany and France work together on the digital. A few takeaways very briefly. One, for me, the first takeaway was that the digital infrastructure was at the heart of the discussion. It's clear now, and there is a common understanding that AI, generative AI, is a question of hardware. It's basically based on compute, which are hosted in data centers. And so the data centers are essential, are critical assets for AI to work. So I think there was this common understanding which popped up from this summit. Second, I would say Europe needs to play, the countries in Europe needs to play together. It was Germany, France, but hopefully the other European markets will come. And so this unity is essential, and Europe needs to be seen as one single market. And let's not repeat the errors from the past where it's fragmented. Each country has its own, I would say, leader. If there is a leader, we need to support it. If Mistral is the leader in LLM, Europe needs to support it. If, and this is the case, Data4 is the champion in the data center field, we need to support Data4. And it needs to be a European goal.
Thank you. Let me stay with you, because I want to talk about data centers specifically. It's been almost a year since the AI Action Summit in Paris. And at the time, there was a number of announcements on France should be welcoming data centers, and there will be data centers in France. So what is the status today? Where do we stand?
Well, actually, it's a very good question. And in 9 months, a lot happened. And I'm sure you will be happy, Madam Minister, because France took the 3rd place in Europe. And I put my hat of the president of the National Trade Association, France Data Center. I think this is not good, the 3rd place. France should be the #1 in Europe. And I'm not saying that because I'm French, but France has beautiful assets, strength. One, the electricity. We have a lot of electricity, which is decarbonized. A lot. Basically, we have gigawatts of power that are waiting data centers to be connected, basically, to the grid. And secondly, the power is very competitive. Second, it's the sole market in Europe with 2 major hubs, with Marseille and Paris, and that's unique in Europe. And these 2 hubs, Paris and Marseille, are in the top 10, not in Europe, top 10 globally. And with this strength, I would say France should be the leader. And so therefore, since then, and thanks as well to the understanding of the government and the ministers, there is more and more big projects, gigawatt projects that are coming, that are popping up in France, where Data4 actually is part of it. And I think it's going in the right direction. So I hope if you do the next one next year, that France will be at the 2nd place, and in 2 years' time at the 1st place.
Minister.
At the AI Summit in February 2025, France reaffirmed its vision. There is no AI without infrastructures. And AI requires data centers, and France aims to become a leading destination for data centers. We have, you've said, unique advantage. It's stable, competitive, largely decarbonized electricity, and as well available land. This ambition is becoming a reality now. At Choose France, Data4 announced nearly 10 billion euros in investments for a data center in Cambrai. Last week at Choose France, Edition France, French stakeholders once again stepped up and announced billion in investments also. So we want to go further, even further, and today I'm announcing 2 major developments. The first development is the publication of a national guide on data center produced by the Direction Générale des Entreprises. And the second, I will soon bring together all project stakeholders for a national conference on data center in Bercy.
Thank you. This is tangible. This is concrete. Last question, I want to talk about, obviously, adoption. Data centers are enablers to train models, to store data and run models. The real priority, and this is why we're here, is adoption. Adoption by companies, adoptions also by citizens. The tough question, how can we accelerate, both for citizens and both for businesses? Minister.
Thank you. Business are not using AI enough, in fact. So we have to perhaps to help them to include AI in the companies, especially for small and medium-sized businesses. So we have Ozelia in France, and we have some goals to reach until 2030. And we are speeding up its implementation with AI ambassadors also. Tomorrow I will welcome 600 ambassadors, AI ambassadors at Bercy, in Bercy, and they will help us to promote and to develop AI everywhere in France, and especially in small businesses. We have also to help breakthrough technologies through Pionnier de l'IA. And the Pionnier de l'IA will support disruptive projects in AI also.
Thank you, Minister. Mr. Micheli, one word on adoption.
Well, actually, first, I think we should not oppose the technology to the workers. AI is an enabler for us to be more efficient, more productive, more creative. Yes, jobs will disappear, but like it happens in the past in any industrial tech revolution. But again, I think this is very important not to create fear where it's not necessary. So that's the first. Second, from my perspective, it's the use case. The use case are key. And so you need to create use case in vertical, in industries. And the companies, they're very, I will give you my example, but are very basic. If it creates value, they will adopt massively AI. And for example, in the data center industry, in each data centers, we have thousands of sensors. And we collect thousands, hundreds of thousands or millions of data. And where AI can help us, basically, it's to analyze these data and to do proactive, predictive maintenance to avoid having some incidents where we are more in reactive maintenance. And that's where it's a very tangible use case. You see where AI can help and support the data center industry, improving the quality of the services we're delivering. And I can tell you that it's the same in banking, pharmaceuticals, etc. It's, for me, the use case that will create the adoption of AI in general.
To close, I just first would like to say thank you to both of you. Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Micheli. But also to everybody here in the room, because that matters. I have the best job in the world. Artifact, we're in 25 countries, so I travel a lot. I travel to China, I travel to the US, travel to Africa, South Africa, to Morocco, to Dubai. And every time I get this energy, I get this optimism, and I felt exactly the same thing today. There's something happening. And so despite the temperature, I really want to say thank you to all of you, because something is happening in Paris, something is happening in Europe, and it's real stuff, tangible. So thank you very much, and thank you to all of you here in the room. Bye-bye.